Hey everyone, I'm back with my last curriculum choice video. This one is for kindergarten, and I am kind of on plan C, possibly moving to plan D when it comes to my curriculum choice for kindergarten. But let me back up and kind of explain what I mean by that. If you're not familiar with my channel, I have 7 children. My oldest is 21 and in college. We've already graduated her from our homeschool. We started homeschooling her in 1st grade, so I did not homeschool kindergarten with her. I'm getting ready to homeschool my 6th child, which means I have already done kindergarten 4 times. And all of those times that I have taught kindergarten in the past, this is what I have used. It's kind of has always been my plan A, or really my only plan. And that is to use spell to write and read for teaching phonics and reading. And then I have used Cursive First for teaching handwriting. And then I have used Math UC Primer to teach math concepts. And that's kind of my focus in kindergarten, is just getting them to read, getting them to write, getting them to understand basic math concepts. And then my other kids that I have taken through kindergarten have always had at least 1 or 2 or 3 other siblings that I have been homeschooling, and so they have joined in on the science lessons, on the history lessons, on the read alouds. We've just always done that as a group, and so I never had a separate curriculum for a kindergartner for any of those other subjects. And really my focus always in kindergarten has really just been phonics, reading, getting them to write, and math. And that still is my focus this coming year with my kindergartner. Here's kind of what changed and moved me from plan B to plan C, and now already thinking about maybe I need to have a plan D. Wow, sometimes picking curriculum can get a little crazy. What moved me from plan A to plan B is last year in the beginning of the school year, he was 4, almost 5, and now he's going to be, when he starts kindergarten, he's going to be 5 and turning 6 right away. So he's definitely an older kindergartner. And last year we used the K4 distance learning program from BJU Press, and he really enjoyed that. I purchased it for him really just as entertainment for him, really educational entertainment, but he really enjoyed it. And so that got me thinking. I've got a couple kids, older kids, using Math UC, and I have a couple kids using the BJU Press distance learning math. And I thought, you know what, maybe I want to move my upcoming kindergartner, start him off in BJU Press math. And so just because he was loving the videos so much, and I thought, okay, I will teach BJU K5 Math myself next year, or this coming school year. We'll just start with that, and we'll see, because that might be what I end up using for him. I might just put him into BJU Math instead of Math UC, and that's a whole different reasoning for that. Like I said, I've got some who love Math UC. I've loved Math UC, but BJU Press Math is working really good for a couple of my other kids. And I thought, you know what, it might work really good for my upcoming kindergartner. So plan B was to use spell to write and read for phonics and reading, Cursive First for handwriting, and then to use the BJU Press K5 Math. And I would teach that myself. We wouldn't do the distance learning. I would just teach that to him myself. That was plan B, and I thought this is a great plan. Then I started realizing that this is going to be my first kindergartner that's not going to be sitting in on lessons with his older siblings, because my original plan for the older ones was for them to be doing mostly independent work using the BJU Press distance learning curriculum. And so I thought, maybe I want to incorporate, he is an older kindergartner, and he does have a desire to learn, actually more than wanting to read and do math. He loves history and he loves science. So I thought I really should find something that I could just include into his kindergarten curriculum that, we could do when he had an interest to do it. And if he didn't want to do it, we wouldn't do it. But I should have something there available because he has such an interest in science and in history. So I started looking at other curriculum choices. At the same time, I was also starting to think, I'm kind of feeling overwhelmed a little bit with the fact that I'm going to be homeschooling 5 kids. next year. And so I'm going to have to be teaching, my kindergartner all of his stuff. But then I'm always helping my older kids with school, even though they're working independently. And then I've got a 3-year-old to take care of as well. And I'm thinking, do I really have time to do lesson planning? Then my husband got laid off, and I realized that we were not going to be able to afford the BJU Press distance learning videos for every subject for all of my kids, and we had to change things up, which meant I had to teach. If you've watched my past curriculum choice videos for my older kids, it means that I am teaching some of the subjects to them instead of them working independently. And I went, okay, how am I going to juggle all of this? And I just thought, you know what? I need to make my life easier as much as possible when it comes to homeschooling. I know from 15 years of experience, if I take on too much, I'm going to be overwhelmed and stressed out the entire year, and it's not going to be good for anybody, because we're not going to get anything done, because I'm just going to be so overwhelmed and stressed, and I'm going to end up dropping the ball on a lot of things because I just did not think through whether I could really implement things. And so I knew that if I wanted to be able to give my kindergartner the education I think he needs in terms of really laying a good foundation for phonics and math, and also giving him a delight and an enjoyment and a love for learning, I needed to have something. Well, I needed to be diligent in teaching him, consistent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I needed to be consistent in teaching him next year. And I just know myself, I knew that I was not going to be consistent with doing kindergarten if I did not have something clearly laid out for me. I knew that I was not going to get to lesson planning for him. I don't know why it is. Kindergarten should be the one that the younger ones should be the ones that, not necessarily kindergarten, but the younger kids should be the ones that I focus on, because they're the ones that need a good foundation in reading. But I always, just my nature and habit is to focus on the older ones and to kind of go, we'll get to we'll get to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. I'll get to them, tomorrow or the next day. And I thought, I can't do that. I need to really be consistent in giving him some instruction, especially in phonics, and helping him learn to read, because he is going to be almost 6. And I'm not saying 6-year-olds have to learn to read. I had a child who was not ready, no matter how hard I pushed, was not ready to read until well into age 7, almost age 8. So, and then it just clicked. So I'm not saying I'm trying to push him into anything, but he's ready, and so I want to use his excitement, and he's ready for it, and so I want to get started and be consistent about it. And I have to have something already laid out for me. I just do. I just know myself. 15 years of homeschooling, I know myself. I should be able to write lesson plans myself. I've been doing that with this program. I've been writing the lesson plans myself. I can't do that. I just can't practically do that. So then we moved to Plan C, and Plan C kind of came together when I was looking through my curriculum tabs and going, what is in here that I might be able to use for kindergarten that could save us some money, because my husband is still unemployed, that is scripted, that can help me stay on track. And what I found was that I actually, over the years, had accumulated lots of different pieces of the Abeka K5 curriculum. And I honestly, like I said, never really did K5, this curriculum with any of my other kids. We were always using, the Spell to Write and Read and Cursive First and Math UC. So I was a little surprised. Where did all this stuff come from? But I pick things up at used curriculum fairs. People pass things on to me. So I had a lot of the different pieces for the K5 Abeka curriculum, which is totally scripted and laid out for you. So Plan C was to just fill in with the workbooks that I needed for him to do the K5 curriculum. And because math is included in this, I went, okay, well, I'm not going to do the BJU Math. We'll do the Abeka K5 Math. Probably in first grade, we will move into the BJU first grade math. But since I had this, we're going to use what I have. It meets my needs. It's affordable because I already have most of it. It's scripted and all planned out for me. So that's what we're going to go with. Plan C is the Abeka K5 curriculum. And at the end of this video, I will give you a look at some of the different components of it, what's all included in it. But that's what we're going to do. Now, one of the reasons that I went with this, because I did have components to some other curriculum as well for kindergarten. The reason I did this one is their phonics, while it is not the same as Spell to Write and Read, it is very similar. It is probably the most similar kind of package curriculum. Of all the package curriculum, it has probably the most similar phonics to Spell to Write and Read than any of the other ones. And so I'm going to use this as my guide and my lesson plans, but since I know the Spell to Write and Read program so well, I'm going to incorporate this and kind of use Spell to Write and Read in these lesson plans. So that's kind of what I'm still going to be using Spell to Write and Read. I'm still going to be using a little bit of the Cursive First kind of mindset as I'm working through this. So if it says in here, he's learning the letter C, we will learn the phonogram sounds and that are in Spell to Write and Read, and we will learn how to form it in cursive, because I like to teach my younger ones cursive before print. So that's what we're going to do. Like I said, it included math. So this is going to be kind of my guide, my safety net here to help me be consistent with teaching the phonics and the math. Originally, Plan C was to use this and to use all of the other extras that I had as well, and I'll show you those in a minute, but just the social studies and all of those extras that they had. Here's what happened. I realized after I kind of purchased all the little components that I still needed to fill in to make a complete curriculum, I realized, or I shouldn't say realized, I decided that I was going to be teaching some of my older kids in a group all together. So then I thought, oh, well, I didn't really need then another science or history for my kindergartner, because he's going to be sitting in on that with his older kids, with the older siblings. So Plan D is to just focus on the K5, use this along with the Spell to Write and Read, kind of combine these together to do phonics, reading, that kind of thing, handwriting, and math, and not to use the other components in here. Oh, and we will be using the Think and Learn K5 notebook as well. I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to be using those, but when it comes to like social studies and science and all of that, he's just going to be sitting in with his older siblings. So we're not going to actually use the full curriculum like I thought I was. And honestly, by the end of the year, I could be on Plan E. I mean, I'm just going to try to make this work as best as I can. And I honestly, as you can see, I'm not really sure what is going to work the best for us for kindergarten. There's a lot of other little components and things that I'm just not sharing, partly because I don't have the time and partly because some of it's just personal to my individual kids. But there's a lot of other different aspects going on in our family that kind of have led me to just go with this curriculum, but also to make me kind of think, okay, it might not work because of this, and it might not work because of this. So I'm going to be tweaking and changing things and making it work for my kindergartner and for me and for our family as a whole. And isn't that one of the great things about homeschooling, is that we can do that? So that's kind of my really roundabout, kind of confusing probably, curriculum choice for kindergarten. But let me show you, for some of you who maybe are interested in the K5 curriculum from Abeka, let me show you some of the different curriculum that comes in this set. So with the K5 curriculum, there is a lot in here, and since I kind of already had a lot of the components, I do not remember what is in the like essential set, I think is what they call it, and what is in the complete set. So I'm just going to show you everything I have, and I might be missing some things. Actually, I know I'm missing a lot of things, and I think I have more than the essential set, or whatever it's called, the basic set that they have. But I'm going to show you what I have so you can get an idea of what some of the different options are with using this curriculum. So this is the big teacher's manual, and it is really laid out for you so you know exactly what to do, what to pull out, what resources to use. Then it comes with a lot of different student workbooks. So this is the Think and Learn K5, again, helping them to think critically. It says writing skills, eye-hand coordination, I cannot talk, eye-hand coordination, visual perception, listening and thinking skills, and good character are all in here. And this actually is a workbook I think I had just to kind of keep my little ones busy when they were 5 years old, years and years ago. I remember one of my kids doing that. Their math one is number skills K5, and again, it's just another workbook that they're going to work through. They also have letters and sounds. Let's kind of flip through there. I think they have samples of these online, but I don't know. I'm not real familiar with Abeka because, as you know, I love BJU Press, but this is what we had and this is what's going to work for us. So I don't remember if they have a lot of samples online or not. This is the K5 writing tablet in cursive because I do cursive first, and Abeka gives you an option. You can do cursive or you can do print. I think they have both options. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with Abeka, but I think they have both options. But we have the cursive one. So it's kind of like a tablet here where they practice their writing on there. Then there is also writing with phonics in cursive. And honestly, I do not know what is the difference between this and this, but we have both of them. But it is just more sheets where they are practicing their writing in cursive. I'm sorry, that's probably not coming in as clear as I'd like, but that's what that is. And then the other workbook that it comes with is Social Studies K5. And this one had an option. This is one of the newer ones that I had to pick up because I thought I was going to be doing social studies with him. And now I don't know if we're going to be using this, but they had the option of getting it bound. So, you know, like in a workbook like this, or loose. And I said, let's get loose because I always hate ripping things out. You know, I rip out all the pages anyways. So this came, I purchased it with the pages cut apart, or they just haven't bound it yet. So those are the workbooks, but that isn't all that this comes with. Let me keep going. So I also already had collected all of these over the years. And these are visuals that Abeka has. I believe these are all optional, but let me show you just real quickly what it is. This is Community Helpers, and it comes with a little teacher's guide here, or lesson guide, that tells you exactly which photo to hold up. It gives you a scripted thing to say and review questions to ask. And let me just show you inside. It literally is just pictures. And so when you're learning about the post office, you'd show your child that one. When you're learning about City Hall, or maybe this is about the mayor, I don't know, but you'd show that picture. So it's just a little book full of pictures and then scripted lessons. So there is Community Helpers visual. There is America, Our Great Country. There is character development visuals, and I'm assuming they all kind of look like this. Some of these are newer, and some of these I've had for almost 15 years. So maybe the covers look different. I don't know. This is Children of the World visuals, and then health and safety. And I had purchased this one a long time ago when I wanted to have something for health and safety. And I actually ripped out the pages and laminated them so that we could post them on our walls. So that's an idea. I'm not gonna do that for the other ones, partly because I'm probably not gonna use them. And also that just took a lot of time, and it's just as easy to hold the book up. But that was fun when I don't know if it was fun. It was when I had the classroom mentality of we need to have a whole bunch of posters on the walls. This was 15 years ago, so we did that. But it is nice. It makes them a little bit more sturdy. That is not it though. There is more that comes with this. Let me pull it up off the ground and show you. So there are also little packets that come that are like kind of like charts and games. So I took them apart and put them in a 3-ring binder. This is Phonics Charts and Games, and it just comes with a whole bunch of different games and charts that your student does as they're learning phonics. It also comes, I think I put them in the back here, yeah, with little readers. So I slipped them into these page protectors here. So these are all full of a whole bunch of different little readers that he will be working through. And reading as he goes through the curriculum. So that one was phonics, charts, and games. There's also numbers, charts, and games. And again, just different games. They're all cardstock. And so I put them in page protectors just to store them, and then we would pull them out to use them. But just some different charts and games to play for numbers. There is also a learning games one that it comes with, and same kind of thing, all kinds of little games for them to play. I'm assuming it goes along with some part of the curriculum. I'm not exactly sure because we haven't really used that. And then the last thing that the K5 curriculum comes with, and again, I don't know if this is part of the essential or basic or whatever it's called, or if it's an extra. You're going to have to go look on the website yourself because I am just not familiar. But it comes with basic phonics flashcards. And this is so heavy. I will open it up, but I put them all in page protectors here. But they're nice big flashcards. But I'll see if I can do it up here. So this would be the front of the card, and then the back of the card would then have words that go along with that phonogram or letter combination. So anyways, we are going to be using that in conjunction with Spell the Write and Read in Cursive First, and we'll see if we get to Plan D or E or whatever plan I'm on. I can't even remember, but that's my curriculum choices for kindergarten as of right now. I will keep you posted. We'll see how kindergarten goes this year. I know I've got so much stuff and I've done this so many times, but I really just feel like I want to be consistent and not really ignore him or drop the ball with my kindergartner because he is enthusiastic, but sometimes I just kind of push him aside. I'm just gonna be honest. I just push sometimes. I forget and I focus on my little teeny ones, like my 3-year-old. They need my time and attention, and the big kids are learning big things, and I forget about a lot of times kindergarten first graders, and they're excited and they want to learn and they want my time and attention. And I thought, if I have something laid out for me where I have to check boxes and say, yes, I did these things, sometimes that helps me to be more consistent. And obviously I'm flexible. If my kindergartner is really not interested in doing school or learning a particular thing, you know, I push a little bit, but then I back off because this is still an age where they learn so much through play. And for some kids, things just don't click and they're not ready to learn until later on, until they're 7, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years old. And I've already experienced that and been through that. So kindergarten is just a great time to start introducing things. But my kindergartner is excited and ready, and I'd like to kind of utilize, what's the word I'm looking for? Just make good use of that excitement and see how much we can learn and hopefully give them a love for learning. So that's my kindergarten choices. If you have any questions, and I'm gonna guess you will, because this is probably more of a rambling roundabout video than I usually make. But if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I will try to answer them as best that I can.